Howdy folks, thanks for coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. The day has finally arrived, and as you can see right in front of you, we have the Tesla cannon. You probably know how long, if you've been, following this channel, you've seen my videos of the past couple of years, you'll probably know how much I've wanted this weapon to come to Fallout 76, and finally it's available for us to playtest over on the Fallout 76 PTS. So this weapon, just for a little bit of context, will be available in the live game at the end of the year and will release alongside the Gleaming Depths update. So yeah, it's available to playtest, so if you do have a copy of Fallout 76 on Steam and you can get access to the PTS, definitely make sure to hop on over and try this weapon out, because believe me, it is a ton of fun to use. But you're here today to see exactly why it is a ton of fun to use. You're here to see how it performs. You're here to see, is this worth my time? Is it worth my energy and resources? And, should I be investing my script and my legendary modules to try and get the rolls that I want for this weapon? Is this going to be another tagging weapon to use at events? Is this going to be another cremator situation? To pretty much put this into perspective, this weapon is going to be worth your time and energy. And no, I don't really see this being another sort of cremator situation where, you see a ton of people just spamming Tesla cannons at events and things like that. Who knows, maybe that might actually happen, but I see this weapon definitely being utilized in a few different ways. But obviously we'll get into that and we'll talk about that as we talk about the modifications and we do the demonstrations and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty much this weapon, you want to also know, is it going to live up to the hype that it did from Fallout 3 and New Vegas? And obviously, yes, it was in Fallout 4, but I kind of categorized that as a mod because it was a Creation Club mod. But is it going to live up to the hype? Now, after doing quite a lot of testing on this weapon, I have found that yes, it is very, very powerful, but I will pretty much, I'll kind of just paint a picture. It's not going to be the exact same weapon that you would have expected it to be from Fallout 3 and New Vegas. So try and have an open mind when you go into using this weapon. It's not going to be the exact same thing, but it is still going to be very, very powerful and a ton of fun to use. But yeah, look, we'll get into that anyway. But in front of us, you can see here that we do have a bloodied explosive Tesla cannon. And then obviously the third star we have is when reloading, gain 250 ballistic damage and energy damage resistance when reloading. And the main reason why I have that in there, my character is quite a low level, so I do need some extra little bit of resistance when using this weapon, especially going up against tanky enemies. So obviously I don't really have the same sort of armor and perks and stuff that I normally have with my main character. But yeah, look, we'll go through all of these different things as well. But also today we are going to be testing one of the new 4-star legendary effects, and one of the effects in particular is going to be the polished 4th-star effect. As you can see there on the description, it reads, the greater the equipped item condition, plus 100%, the greater the weapon damage, up to plus 60%. So with this 4th-star legendary effect, it will basically give this weapon an extra 60% extra damage. So make sure, obviously, if you have this effect, you want to make sure that your item condition is above plus 100% or at 100%, because it will give you that boost. And as you can see there, when equipped, it'll go up to 596. So yeah, it definitely will pack a little bit of a punch. But look, we'll get into the 4-star effects and all that kind of stuff in a little bit. Just to give you a little bit of context, 4-star legendary effects, they are being added with this particular update, and they will be available as a reward from completing vault raids and so forth and so on. So these are the new effects that are coming into the game. But primarily, and when you unlock this weapon, you'll probably be starting off and you'll probably mainly just have a 3-star variant. So we're going to be testing out the 3-star variant mostly, and then yeah, we'll check out the 4-star effect. But what we'll do is we'll take a look at the mods and we'll go through these exactly and see exactly what are the best ones to use. So from my testing and from what I've kind of researched on this, I pretty much found that the following effects are pretty much the best ones to go for. So out of all of the mods, first of all, starting off, the triple resonate wave oscillator. Pretty much that's the best one to start off with. As you can see here, all the other ones will decrease the damage, but I think on paper it will actually, if let's say I just change this here, it will increase the damage. If I go to the standard one, there we go. No, let me see here. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make a standard variant and I'll basically show you. So let's go to a standard Tesla cannon. Let's roll some effects here. Again, I am on a custom world, so I can apply whatever legendary effects that I want to this. So just in case you're wondering, but yeah, so we'll pop these on here and we'll go through this again. So when it comes to the receiver, so the first one out of all of them is going to be the triple resonant wave oscillator. It will increase the damage. If you want to get more DPS on this weapon, that is the one to go for, because you will get an increase there of plus 148. Now, with each of these modifications, like most weapons, there are going to be a little bit of, there's going to be a few drawbacks. There's going to be things like decreases to your fire rate and so forth and so on, but there are always ways to make up for all of these kind of things with perk cards and effects and things like that. But to start it off, the triple resonate wave oscillator is definitely the way to go. Moving on as well, when it comes to the barrel, there's going to be a couple of barrels that you can choose from. Out of all of them, the Edison Series 2, that's the one you want to go for. Out of all of them, you can see there, the damage will drop off. Yes, you will get a bump there to your fire rate and your VATS accuracy and your AP cost. But as you can see, out of all of them, for DPS, this is what you want to be going for. It's the Edison Series 2. Again, we've got another increase there, and it's gone up to 596. Moving on to the ammo capacity. Now, there are just a couple, but one thing in particular I will say about this, I really don't feel that there's any need to go for the huge ampacity. It will increase the ammo size or the ammo capacity from 50 to 100, but personally, I don't really see any necessity to go with this. When you look at the negative effects that you get from this, like it will increase your AP cost by +3, it will increase the weight by 3.9, you'll see a negative impact there to your reload speed and aim speed. Like, the standard clip is 50, and personally, look, if you have a build put together with a ton of legendary perks and you've got a really good build and a good solid build put together for tankiness and DPS and all that kind of stuff, you're really going to see that there's not going to be any real necessity to go that way, because quite literally, if you wanted to negate that, you could change this from bloodied to quad if you wanted to. Obviously, if you have the legendary effect, but if you got a quad variant, as you can see there, it'll change the ammo capacity to 200, which will completely negate going down the route of having to put in the huge ampacity. But for the purpose of today, we're going to be going with bloodied, so you can probably tell already we are going to be going with a low health build for this particular sort of test, basically. But yeah, so when it comes to the ammo capacity, just stick to the default. There's no real need for it. Moving on, when it comes to the scope, there are a couple. Out of all of these, probably the best one to go for is the night vision scope. It will increase your VATS accuracy by 40. The other ones will increase it by +14 with the recon, and then you just got the standard sight, which comes with the weapon. But with the night vision scope, you will get an increase there to sighted accuracy and also magnification. So that's probably the best one to stick on for this, especially. Now, when it comes to the stock, this is one thing I do want to talk about today. So I know when we made our video during the week, and again, look, if you want to check that video out, you can click on the link on the top right hand corner. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just go over to the wiki page here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm about to discuss. So as you can see there on the wiki page, there are a couple of different modifications that are available for the weapon, and one of them in particular is the alternate current muzzle. Now, with the effects of this muzzle, it basically will change the weapon so that it will actually produce a lightning arc effect. So similar to the Tesla rifle. So if you use an automatic Tesla rifle or any sort of Tesla rifle, you'll know that it will actually produce sort of like a chain lightning arc effect to enemies surrounding in the area. Now, these were the three muzzles that were available. So you had the alternate, you also had the direct, and then also you had the stock. But just moving back on over here to the PTS, as you can see, there's only two. So there's the direct current muzzle and the stock assembly. And I know there has been questions in my videos, and I know people have been asking this, where they've been wondering, where is the muzzle that makes this or turns this essentially into a Tesla rifle, a giant Tesla rifle, if you want to say. Unfortunately, that muzzle isn't here. I don't know what has happened to it. I don't know if they've removed it from the game. I don't know if they're still doing testing on it at the moment. That could possibly be what they're doing. Or look, it could be a case where it might be available as a raids reward, or it possibly could be a scoreboard reward. I'm not too sure. Or they might incorporate it as a vendor item that you can obtain through a vendor or something like that. But for now, and usually when it comes to the PTS, and especially when it comes to new weapons that they want people to test, it was the same with the Vault 63 laser carbine. All the mods were available for it to pretty much test out. And from what I can see here, there's only two. There's the direct current muzzle, and then there's also the stock assembly. But with the direct current muzzle, that will actually reduce your target's damage resistance by 10% for 6 seconds. So for as of now, we only pretty much have the direct current muzzle and the stock assembly. But what I will say is, and this is an important thing to remember when it comes to this particular muzzle, this won't stack with the Endanger All Syringer. So before you think to yourself, oh, I could use this at a, Earl Williams, or I could use this at this World Boss event and use my Syringer and this. No, it won't stack with the Endanger All Syringer, so you kind of have to just think to yourself, well, okay, I'm just going to use this. So there's no real need to use your Endanger All Syringer. You can stick this on. There won't be any negative effects to it. As you can see there, it won't decrease anything in any way, shape, or form. It will just basically give you that effect, reduces target's damage resistance by 10% for 6 seconds. Now, if you know what happened to the other muzzle, let me know below in the comments. Maybe you have gotten it as a raised reward. Maybe you have found out that, yeah, it will be a scoreboard reward. Let me know, because I have done a bit of research on this and I can't seem to locate it in the world, or I've tried the PTS locker and I can't seem to see it there, and I just don't know what happened. I don't know if they have removed it. I've checked the Bethesda Discord. There's no real confirmation, so maybe they are doing additional testing on it as pretty much at the moment, and maybe they might release it come the actual full release of the game, or the update. But yeah, it would have been nice to actually test that. But moving on, and lastly, we do have the appearance. So at launch, there will be 2 appearances. There'll be the standard one, and then there'll be an additional one, which will be the Enclave skin. So if you see my Enclave video there on Thursday or Friday, I believe, you'll know that there will be a Tesla rifle or Tesla cannon skin that will be an Enclave one. So it'll come in like sort of like a matte black finish with a yellow paint scheme, and it'll have the Enclave insignia on the side. So there'll be 2 that will be available at launch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want to try and get this weapon and you want to modify it for DPS and maximize your DPS, you want to go for the triple resonant wave oscillator, the Edison Series 2. Personally, stick with the default ampacity. That's the best way to go in my own sort of testing and my own experience. Stick with that. When it comes to the scope, definitely maybe pop on the night vision scope. And then also we've got the direct current muzzle, and then your appearance doesn't really matter, whatever you're into. So yeah, but again, look, I would like to know more if what's going on with that alternate current muzzle. So I'll try and find that out for you. Maybe I might pop it in a pinned comment or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so and those are the effects. So we've got the blade effect, we've got the explosive effect, so projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage, and then also we've got the resilient effect. So when reloading, gain 250 ballistic damage and energy damage resistance when reloading. Now, also as well, I did mention that we would be talking about the 4th star effect. So the 4th star effect, as I mentioned, is going to be polished. So the greater the equipped item condition plus 100%, the greater the weapon damage, up to plus 60%. So yeah, there is quite a lot of different 4-star legendary effects that we can obviously apply to our weapons and our armor and all that kind of stuff now with this update. I did make a previous video going into all of these different effects. I'm not going to go into every single one of them in detail, but for this weapon in particular, I feel that this will definitely be a great one to really help with your DPS, because as the description reads, just basically the better the item condition, or if it's at 100%, you're just going to get a boost to your damage. You're going to get 60% boost to that. So as you can see there with the 2 weapons, the first one we have is the standard one. That is going to give us... Why is that down to 444? There's a reason why that's a 444. And why is that at 5? That's a 596. Is it this one? What is the difference between this and this? Let me see. That is the exact same one. That's the exact same one. That's weird. I don't know why that's at 444. That's weird. But anyway, so the base damage for this weapon is going to be 532 just with the 3-star effects. But as I wanted to show example of, with the 4th star effect, that will increase it up to 596. Now, when it comes to the build, obviously you want to know what are the best perks to use. So the best way to approach this is that this is going to be an explosive heavy gun. So similar to any sort of heavy launcher, like a Fat Man, when it comes to the Thirst Zapper, Nuka launcher, all those sort of stuff. That's basically the kind of build you want to be aiming towards. So you want to be sticking in max rank of Demolition Expert, so 60% extra damage there to explosive explosives. Also as well, just a quick one to note, the heavy gunner cards will not work with this weapon. So heavy gunner perks, no need to invest into those. And then also the science perks will not work. The only reason why I have that in there is so that I can actually apply the modifications to the weapon. So unfortunately, the science perk cards won't boost the damage, and neither will the heavy gunner perks. But anyway, we also have Nerd Rage in there just because it is a low health build, and that's what we're running with today. But for the likes of DPS, you want to be aiming for Demolition Expert. Also as well, you can pop in Bloody Mess for that 15% bonus damage. And then also as well, I would recommend popping in Grenadier because it just will increase the explosive radius of the explosions and the weapon itself. Also as well, you will be able to use Lock and Loaded, so heavy guns will reload 20% faster. And then also as well, you will be able to use Bullet Shield. I don't have that equipped right now. Again, my character's only level 66 or 65. But Bullet Shield, that will just give you damage resistance when reloading with heavy guns. And then also, if you're using power armor, you can use Stabilized. So Stabilized will work with this weapon, so you'll be able to ignore your target's armor and get stagger chance if you're using power armor. And then also for the likes of our luck cards, you will be able to use one gun army. So I know that actually increases stagger chance and it gives you a chance to cripple a limb. But with the cards that we have here today as well, as mentioned, I have Bloody Mess. We have Grim Reaper Sprint in there because this weapon, funny enough, works very, very well in VATS, and to be honest, it actually works better in VATS than it does outside of VATS. But yeah, so we got Grim Reaper Sprint in there, so any kills in VATS has a 15% chance to restore all action points, better criticals because we are using VATS, so VATS crits will now do plus 100% damage. We have Serendipity just to negate incoming damage, and then 4-Leaf Clover. This is one of the cards that has actually been changed, so no longer will you need to max this out to get the best effects. It's now been changed to a 1-star card. So as you can see there, misses and VATS now contribute to the critical meter based on your luck. And then lastly, we do have Critical Savvy in there, so our critical hits now only consume 85% of our meter. Now, sneak cards will work with this weapon, so you can actually use Covert Operative. So your ranged sneak attacks will now do an additional 15% sneak attack damage. And then again, look, you can utilize sneak. We have Evasive in there, just again for damage mitigation, and then we have Action Boy in there for AP regeneration. Lone Wanderer, not really necessary. Suppressor and Tenderizer, we have that in there to reduce target's damage output, and then also Tenderizer to make your target receive 5% more damage. And then for endurance, I've stuck in Ironclad again because my character is quite squishy, so I have that in there just to help with my damage resistance. Thirst Quencher just for help to the likes of AP. Fireproof just to help with Scorch Bee screech attacks. Starch Jeans has now been moved from luck into endurance, and that's now been changed to a 1-star card, so that's great. So if you run any mutations, you'll be able to just allocate 1 point with this, which I think is an awesome change. And then also I've popped in Rejuvenated. I've also popped in Exterminator, so your attacks ignore 50% armor of any insect, so great one to have in there. And then also as well, just to help with that sort of loss of accuracy in VATS and things like that, I've popped in max rank of Concentrated Fire. So you can see there, VATS target limbs, but now with the max rank of Concentrated Fire, you can focus fire to gain high accuracy and damage per shot. Now, I've also popped in Glow Sight just to give extra damage to glowing enemies. And then for the likes of the strength perks, just because I do tend to carry a lot of meds, Traveling Pharmacy, Barbarian just to help with damage resistance, Sturdy Frame just weight reduction, and then also as well Blocker just to help with damage mitigation when it comes to opponents' melee attacks. And as I mentioned, Lock and Load is in there as well. Now, when it comes to the legendary perks, you will be able to use follow through because, as I mentioned, sneak will work with this weapon, so you can use ranged sneak attacks, and depending on what level you have this card at, again, that will increase the damage. And then also as well, you will be able to use Far-Flung Fireworks. So Far-Flung getting tongue twisted. Far-Flung Fireworks will work with this weapon as well. So enemies killed with a ranged weapon have a 10% chance to explode. It's not really necessary, doesn't really contribute to the DPS or anything, but it's a nice card to have on there anyway. But yeah, that's the build. That's what we're currently running with at the moment. We're not going to be using power armor. We're going to be just using this out of power armor. And then also lastly, we want to take a look quickly at our mutations. And just to give you an example and to show you how well this weapon performs, I'm only using 2 mutations. I'm using Eagle Eyes to help with perception and critical damage. And then also I have Marsupial in there just to help with my jump height. So as you can see, there's nothing really else added in. There's no other chems that we're using. There's nothing else to boost this up. Nothing else in particular. We have all of our perks. We've covered that. We've covered the modifications. There's nothing else going on there. That is pretty much it. So what we'll do is we're going to hop over to West Tech. So let's go over there real quick and we'll take a look and see how this performs. And there's my lovely crap shack from when I first started playing this game. My lovely level 1 crap shack. Please excuse the lack of furnishings inside of my my first little camp that I ever had. But yeah, okay, so here we go. So this is the 3-star variant, I believe. No, it's the 4-star. So let's pop on the 3-star instead, just to show you. Sorry, there we go. I don't know why that's doing 444. It's a weird one. I'll get rid of that actually. Hang on 2 seconds just to help with weapon weight. But anyway, this is the 3-star variant. It's the exact same one that we've gone over. No additional things here. But anyway, base damage 532. Let's see how this performs. So boom, 1,393, 1,755, 1,393. Oh, like, there you go. I mean, like, in VATS, this thing just hits like a truck. 1,232. 931. I don't know why that missed, but there we go. On that second shot, we killed him. Where is that guy? Where is he gone? There's somebody here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Boom, 1 shot. We missed. There we go. 840. Let's take a quick stim pack there. We don't want to die. And then boom, 1,954. And then we'll get that turret there just for good luck. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much in VATS it works really well. And like, you know, compared to kind of most sort of end game builds that are out there, and you've probably seen with most of my sort of end game builds that I have, like the AP cost and how it works in VATS, it works very well in VATS. And obviously, like, you know, if you do have like a really solid build and, you know, you've maximized your all of your perks in specific ways, like, I mean, just like, that's the damage that we're doing. 1,344. I mean, 1,466. Oh, there we go. Let's reload. As you can see there, the reload animation, very similar to the Hellstorm missile launcher. 2,462. Look at that. 572. Like, that is just insane. I mean, this weapon is just so good. One thing I would recommend, it's not a weapon that's aimed for close quarter combat. Like, there is a bit of splash damage that comes off of it. I'll just give you an example just to demonstrate that for science. So there you go. There's a little bit of damage that comes off of it. You know, like, it will affect you. So just, you know, make sure that if you are using this weapon in close quarters combat, you know, you try and not stub your toe on it in any way, shape or form. But what we'll do is we'll hop over to Pylon V13 real quick, because I want to try and test this out on a super mutant just to show you what it's like. And then what I'll also do is I'll try this out on, I'll try the 4-star version with the polished effect on another super mutant. So let's try and see how this performs. So here we go. Let's see if all of these enemies are here. So this is still the 3-star version. So we have a few anglers over there. Here we go. Boom. Oh, 2 hits off that one. That is a miss. And there we go. Boom. 2 hits off anglers. So there you go. That's it's not really a 1-hit thing off the anglers, apparently. Here we go. Here's a super mutant. All right, so now that's it. That's just a super mutant. We want the behemoth. Come on, let me VATS the behemoth. Ah, no! I want to VATS the behemoth. Okay, I need to try and get out of the way here. Ah, there we go. All right, let's try a crit shot. 2,433, 1,153. So 3 shots to a behemoth, and they're gone. And there you go. 1 shot to the super mutants. I mean, and then outside of VATS, like, yeah, it does, it's okay outside of VATS, but it's not really going to be like a 1-hit sort of thing. Again, look, I'm just a low health, not saying low health, my character is a low level. So, you know, if you really maximize your build and even just, you know, improve upon the build that I have here, you might be able to do like a 1-shot sort of thing to these enemies. You know, like in VATS, you can see like it works really well. Like if you look at my AP bar there, like it's just working really well. I mean, it's just a ton of fun to use. It really is. So there you go, 2061. Like, it's it's just a lot of fun. All right, let's move over here to the other one, the other super mutant that's over here, and let's try and see if he's available to use as a little test subject here today. We'll try out the 4-star effect. So again, the 4-star effect on paper will be giving us an extra 60% damage. So it took us, what, 3 shots to take down that behemoth? So this should realistically take maybe possibly 2 shots. Yeah, we'll see how this does anyway. So as you can see, that's now doing 601, but I think that's obviously as a result of the other enemies that we just killed back there. So yeah, let's run on down here and see if he's here. I would prefer, when it comes to this particular super mutant, if there was a closer location that we could run to. But yeah, join me as we take a quick little jaunt through the woods towards this behemoth. Here he is. All right, let's go. Let's try and do this. Now I'm expecting that it will kill him in 2 shots, so let's hopefully it lives up to that expectation. Is he here? Is he available? He is! Now, I'll turn off my Pip-Boy there because, again, we don't want to... Alright, so what I'll do is, boom, there we go. So we're in caution. Now, so this realistically should take 2 shots. So let's try this. So, 1, and then we'll try a crit. 2. 3,296. So there you go. Took him down in 2 shots. Now, yeah, I know I did use a crit shot on him, but yeah, you can pretty much see there over 3,000 damage, and that's with the 4-star effect. Again, look, it might take us quite a while to get these 4-star effects, or look, you might be particularly lucky when you do your first vault raid. You might get these particular effects straight away. Who knows? I'm not too sure how long it's going to take to get all of these particular 4-star effects. I imagine they're going to take a little while. Well, what we'll do is we'll go down and we'll test this on a Mylar Queen as well, because Mylar Queens, again, they're considerably tanky enough, so we want to see exactly what this is like on the Mylar Queen. But yeah, again, I don't know, like it might take a while to get these 4-star effects. From what I've seen so far, like the vault raids themselves, they're extremely tough to get through, but when it comes to rewards, again, it can be, obviously it's all going to be RNG when it comes to getting these particular 4-star effects, but hopefully it won't be too difficult. Oh, I mean, look at that. That is just awesome. Let's try and get the attention of the Mylar Queen here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's try on the legs. Ooh, okay. Let me see here. Let's try a crit shot on her. Oh, there we go. Another crit shot. Oh, we're almost dead. Oh, God. Yeah, her poison attack is not that fun. Let's try and heal up a little bit here. Oh, there we go. And then there we go. That is awesome. So you can see already, like, it's not really going to be another sort of cremator sort of thing. Like, I know, like, the cremator, it is a very powerful weapon, and depending on what rolls that you get and all of that kind of stuff, but you can see already that this weapon, it's going to be very powerful, but it's not going to be one of those weapons where it's going to be like, oh, here we go, everyone and their Tesla cannon is going to be, you know, showing up to the event, and it's going to be another legacy weapon sort of issue. No, I don't really see it being that. Like, going up against world bosses, yes, I would like to test this against world bosses, but I would prefer to test this when it actually comes into the live game, because again, this is just the PTS. Everything is always subject to change when it comes to the PTS. Like, this could perform a lot better in the live version of the game, and some of the mods might get tweaked, but for now, like, I don't really see this being a big concern. Like, look, we'll test out here on a Scorch piece as well, just to see, but I mean, you've seen already, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be a great weapon, and if you're looking for that rush of nostalgia, especially, you know, like, that's, if you remember playing Fallout 3 in New Vegas, it was just a lot of fun, and it's just cool to see it. Like, even the animations, like the electricity there on the barrel and everything, it's just so cool. Oh, look, there we go. So it's 3, and then there should be probably, what, 4 shots for a Scorch Beast. Oh, one of Vats the Scorch Beast. Yeah, so 4 shots to a Scorch Beast. Oh, a little bit close for comfort there. 1,045. 2,086. 1,047. And like, I mean, look at my VATs. Or look at my AP. It's just, it's gonna be good, you know. And like, I've just been waiting for such a long time for this weapon. I really have been, and it's just so fun to see it here. And I'm glad that, again, and I've already mentioned this in my previous Tesla Cannon video, I'm glad it doesn't look the exact same from the Fallout 3 games, because again, or sorry, Fallout 3 in New Vegas, because again, when it comes to the likes of the lore aspect of it, you know, like how I mentioned in my top 10 video was that I would have preferred to see, if it was going to be coming to Fallout 76, I would have liked to have seen a pre-war variant of this version, and then that's what they've done. They've changed it up, and they've made it so that it could be utilized with the Fallout 3 or Fallout 76 weapons that we currently have. So like, you know, when it comes to like, look, I'll even show you, as you can see there, like the reload animation, that's just pretty much a carbon copy of the Hellstorm missile launcher. So, you know, like, it is what it is, and I know people have their opinions on the look of the weapon. Personally, I love it. I think it looks really, really good, and I think it is going to be a look that will grow on us over time. I know there's a lot of people that would like to see like how it originally looked from 3 in New Vegas and things like that, but who knows, maybe in a future update or a future scoreboard, or even in the Atomic Shop, we might even get like a Fallout 3 version of the Tesla rifle that we can apply to this. Like it can happen, it can always happen, so you never know. This is only new, it's early days, and things can always evolve and change over time, and we've seen that already, especially with this update that's coming out. Like, look how much the game has changed so far. But anyway, folks, look, enough of that. We've done a good little bit of testing there. We've tested this out on a Mylark and our Mylark Queens and Scorch Beasts and Super Mutants and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just so fun, and I can't wait for this to come to the live game. And again, look, when it comes to the live game, I'll definitely have another build video out for it, you know, with all the new perk changes and all that kind of stuff. But I just can't wait for December. This is just going to be so fun. However, that's everything for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the Tesla Cannon and what you're looking forward to most when it comes to the Gleaming Depths update. As always, if you found today's video informative, consider giving the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. To our channel members and subscribers, thank you for your continued support and helping the channel to grow. If you're picking up anything over on the Bethesda Gear Store and you'd like to support the channel, you can use my creator code BT76Tesla until October 8th to receive 20% off your entire purchase. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.